and kick things off. Fnatic versus Team Heretics. I'm going to ask you both that question. We saw earlier on Tom saying that Fnatic, he thinks he's going to be the one to advance through. Ryan, who do you think?
Oh, it's tough because I think it's two countering styles. I think Heretics are very defensive, but Fnatic are a team that press high. I'm kind of tempted to sit on the fence because I'll be honest, coming into this, I said Heretics were the team to watch, just from what we saw for the Masters Cup. And I have to stick by that. I just have to.
That is the easy way to go about it. Always sit on the fence in these tight games. But you let us know in the chat, wherever you are watching. Are you Team Heretics or are you Team Fnatic? As we kick things off, Team Heretics in left to right in the black kit and Fnatic in the typical red Liverpool kit that we see from Tekkz himself. Question for you, Tom, as we start things off slowly into this game. Tekkz, what's his mentality like at the start of the game? Does he like to be conservative or start aggressive?
Always start aggressive, you know, that's the only way he knows.
R9 in at the near post, manages to get that shot off straight away. Team Heretics starting things off. Aggressive, strong R9 on the little volley, managing to find that one past as easy as you like.
Let's take a look at the highlights here. It was a ball played in, and it was Kylian Mbappe with a little dink pass into R9 Ronaldo, and it's Hidalgo that finds the back of the net off the inside of the post there to give Team Heretics a very early one goal lead.
And we saw that switch of play there coming out towards that right wing and the defender not winning that header. How crucial was that? Yeah,
I think it's massive in this FIFA. You know, when the right back overlaps and the left back can't get there just in time, it always leads to an overload, and Heretics use that perfectly there.
Team Heretics with the absolute dream start against Fnatic, Tekkz and Diogo. Marcelo not coming up and winning that header. Ryan spoke about it yesterday, giving praise to Tekkz and Diogo and how they use their fullbacks, that Marcelo coming up. But it is a disadvantage at times when you have a fullback that isn't great in that aerial battle. Yeah,
I feel for the way Fnatic started that game, they were trying to press intently from the get-go, but it left a few gaps there. But again, that happens sometimes when transitioning into the favoured formation that they want to go into as that pass goes out for a goal kick. But I want to ask you, Tom, when it comes to player selection in terms of personnel in-game, you see Fnatic, they used Ronaldinho quite a lot. Who do you think is the main dictator of that? For example, for you and Gorilla, who chose the team?
For me and Gorilla, it's a very mixed input. We are very, we have a lot of conversation about it, you know. There's no one decider.
The ball comes down across R9 again, slotting that one down. Team Heretics, 12 minutes in, finding that pass into CR7 with a simple tap in. The goalkeeper caught in no man's land. For Mateus Pinona and Hidalgo right now, they are absolutely loving this start.
Wow, it's a ball in here. I felt as if the goalkeeper was going to claim that. The ball in whipped in from Hidalgo, and it was a header down from Mateus. Back to Hidalgo. Cristiano Ronaldo finds the back of the net. 2 goals within the first 15 minutes of hit the ground running.
There's one thing that Ryan says at times. You can practice as much as you want, but when it comes to the big stage and that LAN event, sometimes that practice doesn't always do it that way. But let's find out if Fnatic can do a repeat of yesterday. They came from 2-0 down versus Team Hullet. Ninja in pyjamas. Oli Ito and Levy managing to fumble on that one. And Fnatic with a great comeback in that game. They need to find that way to do that again. And if there is anyone that can do it, though, it is Tekkz and Diogo.
Exactly that. They're proving it yesterday. They're proving it over the years as well at the highest of levels. When the stakes are this high, it's tough. They don't want to make any costly errors and push too many bodies forward. They're just going to probably treat this game as if it's still a 0-0 and just try and just win the half and just try and progress further up the field, creating chances, because when they get here, they're very dangerous.
Mbappe on that 18-yard box. Tekkz just laying it back off to Diogo with Kante. Manages to find that pass off across to R9. Looking for that extra pass, but not finding that way through. Team Heretics, one of the teams that, if you do give them a goal or two lead, though, it is very difficult to come back against.
It really is, especially even in a... I speak about how well they are structurally in a 1v1 format. And I spoke about how in sync they are to do it in a 2v2 as well. They're very calm and composed. They're happy to just run the clock down and make you make mistakes and then try and capitalize. As you see across here.
I was an estate agent for 6 years,
Cristiano Ronaldo,
João Cancelo
just doing enough for Fnatic.
Something I always look forward to with streaming.
Cristiano Ronaldo looking to be utilised at that back stick already from Team Heretics. Ball out on that left-hand side and a little bit of patience in the middle. R9 looking for that drive, finds that pass into Mbappe. Marquinhos just does enough again to step there. A big interception. Tom, when you're in these situations, 27th minute, do you take a minute or two just to breathe and try and get your foothold back in the game?
Yeah, definitely a tactical pause that we saw earlier. I think they would have had a look at the formations the players are using and kind of just regain, you know. You've been preparing all morning for this, and I don't think you can prepare for being 2-0 down this early. So I think they probably just have a word with each other, say, look, take it slow, get back into the game.
R9 now here trying to find that pass into the 18-yard box again, but just coming very short. Marquinhos happy to take that one away. And for Tekkz and Diogo right now, just not clicking, not getting things together against what is a very strong Team Heretics side. Pele with some fancy footwork. Hullet is equal to it though. Ricochet is back. Jude Bellingham. Kante doing what Kante does best for Fnatic. Patience and time on the ball. Tekkz and Diogo known for how good they can be in the attack, but can also appreciate how good they are on the ball just in that build-up play.
Yeah, that build-up play is essential in FIFA. You know, you have to get this area of the pitch right in order to get in the creative spaces that they're getting now, but you have to do that first thing right.
R9 with it, Elastico trying to take pass into that 18-yard box. Drives through, lays the ball back to Mbappe. A big, big chance. Marquinhos again with the third block of the game already. But we can start to see Fnatic questioning a little bit more.
Yeah, that was special there from Tekkz. So we always speak about how dangerous he is when he's square on with the defender. The Elastico, and the extra pass, but it was blocked there from Diogo. They could have got a lifeline back into this, but again, it's promising signs from them.
That it is. Tekkz and Diogo starting to get a little bit more control. After going 2-0 down inside 15 minutes, R9 inside that 18-yard box tries to force that way through with the heel-to-heel. Ruben Diaz this time to break away. 41 minutes gone, an opportunity to break. Team Heretics looking for that third goal, which really would make this tie done and dusted, arguably. Mbappe now in towards that byline. Marcelo equal to it, puts that one behind for the goal kick. Now, we were talking earlier on about these two teams and how they were going to come into this match. Did you think there was going to be two early goals in it, Ryan?
I'll be honest, I predicted the penalties 0-0 before this, just because, again, with the way Heretics are structured, I just felt as if they'd be content to try and run this game for a 50-50. There's the ball over the top there. There still could be a chance here.
Messi on that 18-yard box. Tekkz looking to find that way through, but Hullet comes away for Team Heretics, and it is going to be Hidalgo that takes that one away, puts it out of play for that first half whistle. The referee says that is that.
Coming into the next day, they would be, of course, prior to that, in a good run of form, a good rich vein of form, winning games after game, and then you go home, you come back the next day, and sometimes you don't kick into gear as soon as you'd like. It's a common thing amongst FIFA pros, but yeah.
Yeah, I have that all the time, right? I'll be honest, I'm a slow starter. I normally need 2 or 3 games to really get in my rhythm.
Yeah.
And I think that is the challenge of the first game. You can see Fnatic starting to create.
Pele now on that left-hand side already. Tekkz and Diogo looking to start on the front foot in this second half. Some fancy footwork, finds Mbappe inside the 18-yard box. It's going to be Ruud Hullet. One too many. And again, the defender is just there to take that one away. Team Heretics looking to break. Marcelo making that overlapping run, chooses to go for the Mbappe. Patrick Vieira doing enough. Marcelo lays that ball into R9. He's going to take the shot first time. Green time, and Schmeichel there to parry it away. A big, big chance.
Felt as if time froze there when the ball was lofted over the top there. Green time, wasn't enough power or elevation behind it to really trouble the goalkeeper, but I was initially going to say promising signs there from Diogo and Tekkz creating that chance there, but again, you can see just one end to the other. To counter-attack seems to be a huge option there for Hidalgo and Matthias to break through with.
Mbappe to break now again into that 18-yard box, and it is going to be Hidalgo takes that one away very simply and easily, using that strength of Marquinhos. And that is the thing for Fnatic right now. Tekkz and Diogo, they have to find that way back into the game, but as you commit more men forward, you leave more men behind open to that counter. João Cancelo whipping it in again. Cristiano Ronaldo not finding that way.
I think that cross was whipped in a slightly prematurely. They could have waited or gone towards the byline a little bit more before trying to play the pass in, but we're going to see Diogo break through here.
Ronaldinho looking for that cross into the back stick. It is going to be Pele. Manages to find that one past, and what a header that is from Pele. The fist bump from Tekkz and Diogo, finding their way back into the game.
Yeah, just as I said, just one goal can change the game very quickly. You know, they did their build-up. Good chance, another cross as well. We've seen a couple of them happen this game, and yeah, Fnatic now straight back into this.
It's funny because crossing in FIFA 22, not everyone utilises it, but when it does come, it can work an absolute treat.
Absolutely. You see there with Pele, with the heading accuracy in front of goal, it's always going to be a target that will trouble the goalkeeper. I was just speaking there, we just saw on the other end of it, Heretics had the chance there. If they went towards the ball, they could have had a similar situation there with Cristiano Ronaldo at the back stick, waiting aerially. We know how dominant he can be, but again, straight down the other end, and it was Fnatic's Diogo and Tekkz to respond.
Team Heretics not utilising that cross to their advantage. And then down at the other end, Fnatic managed to find that Pele with a very calm header. Tekkz and Diogo going to be very happy to start off this second half this way. The question is, can they find that second goal to take it all level going into that second leg? A reminder, $100,000 for the winner of this tournament, a Team of the Season Cup in London. By the end of play today, we will have that champion.
I'll be honest, guys, I can sense the nerves here from Team Heretics. The way they're building up, they seem to be giving the ball away in ways they would, well, regularly you'd never see them give away possession so easily. I think it's just they're sort of worrying about playing the likes of Fnatic, Tekkz and Diogo. They know that there's going to be chances created, so they're not really resting on their laurels with a one-goal advantage. But in a normal game or a different scenario where the stakes aren't as high, well, I would also always associate them with being a lot more disciplined as a pause comes in.
Possibly from the side of both teams, as Team Heretics on that back foot right now, having to defend. Fnatic having the better of the second half. R9 takes that long-range shot, the finish shot going across the face of goal. Donnarumma catching that one with ease.
Notice a little tactical adjustment there from Team Heretics. I don't know what formation they've gone to, but they've changed it on the D-pad tactics as that pass doesn't go to the destined target. But again, I noticed that they're just giving away possession a lot more than they would in a normal game.
The thing is as well though, Ryan, is that they started off so strong, 2 goals, but then Fnatic since then have had the ball. Team Heretics haven't really settled in to be holding that ball. They've been defending, trying to hit on that counter, as we see Hullet finding that way again. The pass into Mbappe inside the 18-yard box, lays that one off across, and Marquinhos again doing enough. A huge, huge chance for that pass off.
That's a huge step across there from Matthias to make sure that he puts Marquinhos in between the goalkeeper and Tekkz when he's on the ball. Potentially could have pulled the trigger there, but again, it was just a slice of fortune that could have fell their way, and unlucky for Fnatic that it didn't.
As we said, Ryan, about the tactical change, I think we've seen Heretics going to a back 4 here, so they're obviously not happy with something that's gone on in the second half, and trying to adjust and change the way they play now.
Yeah, I'll say it was necessary though. With the way the game was going, especially since
opinions that
they
are not
went 2-0 up.
by
I
evidence.
didn't really.
But the moment you spread that opinion as
they've had a
fact,
couple of
you are
chances, but nothing clear cut. And they haven't retained possession as well as they did in the first 20 minutes.
And as the people at home are watching this and seeing this tactical battle, how do they get used to that if they want to start to implement that into the game? We'll answer that in just a second. As we see Cristiano Ronaldo driving forward, going all the way to the byline, lays that one off, Mbappe not getting that touch. Going back to that point, how do people get used to these matchups and change themselves?
I think you've got to be prepared to change. I think this is the first FIFA in a while where we've seen so many different formations that can be used. You know, I think what you can do is obviously practice 3 or 4 different formations. They all have different ways of playing. And it is just mainly being comfortable with the formation. You just need to keep practicing over weekend league or any rivals games you're playing, and make sure you can be tactically flexible at any time.
Fnatic on that attack, 83rd minute, Ronaldinho. Tekkz and Diogo linking up, trying to find that way past the fullback. João Cancelo there, a bit of time and a bit of patience. And that one thing, Ryan, is composure in that area.
Oh, it really is. Matthias there, not rushing, not trying to make a mistake this late on in a game to give away possession so needlessly. And they know that the clock's ticking down for this first leg. They will opt to keep possession for the last attack, just to make sure that if they do give possession away, there won't be enough time for Fnatic, Diogo and Tekkz to respond. But they're happy just to keep the ball in this situation, and for Fnatic, they'll be happy to not press too high up the pitch and leave any gaps.
Given the start of this game, Tom, Fnatic right now will be happy going into the second leg at 2-1.
Yeah, it could have been a lot worse. It could have been a lot worse. After 2 goals in 15 minutes, they did well to remain composed and keep themselves in it. And yeah, 2-1, they'll take that scoreline going into the second leg.
Can Team Heretics get one more attack in this first leg? Or are they happy taking the 2-1 lead? If it is, it's going to be now, and they are not going to get a chance as the referee blows that whistle. Team Heretics 2, Fnatic won with a 2-0 lead early on, 15 minutes, but Fnatic, Tekkz and Diogo finding an answer back with that 1 goal, meaning it is all to play for in this second leg. The winner will advance through and play against Makers Sweden, and the loser will drop down into that lower bracket and will be matching up against Dire Wolves.
Yeah, but it's going to be an important start to the game for Fnatic. They, of course, want to start a lot better than they did in the first leg. Of course, gifting 2 goals to Hidalgo and Matias very early on. They want to make sure they can rectify those mistakes, and if not rectify it, attack very, very quickly, which they've started off with.
Ronaldinho finding that ball back into Kante. The pass into Mbappe. Donnarumma quick off his line, coming out, and Fnatic already starting on that front foot. R9, Tekkz and Diogo linking up nicely together. You can't give R9 too much space on the 18-yard box as he comes through. He's trying to find that pass. The Elastico is perfect timing. He's dancing, he's weaving. He finds that pass into Messi as easy as you like. That is why Tekkz and Diogo, they turn up.
That build-up there from Tekkz was absolutely outstanding. The skill moves, wow, unbelievable that he stops within Elastico. He's baiting it, he's building up the time, the twist, the turns, and he plays it to Diogo. An easy finish there. Wow.
What do you even do in that scenario when someone can move with a player like that?
Nothing. You can't do anything. I've been there many a times trying to defend that, and I think it is impossible. You know, it's what I said earlier, right? Tekkz on a big stage just seems to go up a level, and he's shown his quality there. Great goal.
Fnatic came from behind yesterday, 2-0. They were losing against Team Hullet Ninja in Pyjamas. They found a way, and they have pulled this one back to 2-2. And if you could have any start similar to the first leg, if you have any start that you wanted, that is exactly it.
Yep, they responded very early on, which I said is essential for them to do. They'll be hoping that they can continue that for their sake, as we see Team Heretics building up towards the ball, and it goes out, though, for a throw-on. But, oh, potential mistake.
Giving that ball away straight away from the throw-in. R9 to drive. Vieira coming off across and taking that one away. The player item of Vieira, so strong at the back for Fnatic. Using him very well. Strong defensively. As that physicality starts to just take it away. There is going to be a corner coming in, though, for Team Heretics, looking for something from the training ground. Unfortunately, not winning that one. Bellingham plays it back out wide to Cristiano Ronaldo, whipping that one in. It is going to be Marquinhos running up and jumping for that, but unfortunately losing out to the battle. Cristiano Ronaldo, interestingly, the one whipping that one in.
Yeah, I think maybe a slight oversight there with that corner. Of course, they tried the play a lot corner, whipping it to the edge and trying to get that pass back in. We saw it, a very familiar setup with Neo, as we see Tekkz building up here with Ronaldinho, playing it back to Diogo.
And we spoke earlier on, Tom, about Tekkz and Diogo, what they've won and what they've done in their years of playing professional FIFA. They went 2-0 down 15 minutes in, but they looked calm. They weren't frustrated. They just said, you know what, if we play our game, get back into this, we'll be fine.
Yeah, I think the key word is trust between them. They know that at 2 goals or 3 goals, they trust their own game so much. They know what they're capable of, and it's proven here that they don't panic, they stay composed, and they deservedly are back in the game now.
Yeah, they do have that composure in the game. Composure in FIFA, we talk about it in the game and outside of the game. What does it actually mean for a professional FIFA player to have composure at a LAN event?
I believe it's everything. I think it's such tight margins in FIFA at times, and it normally is the most mentally composed that goes and win. The guys that can stay calm, it's just about decision making. Like, we all know the decision we want to make, but when it comes to shove and you're playing for big trophies like this,
I knew it wasn't
not
for
everyone
me.
can replicate that, you know. So it's normally the person
Something I always look forward to is streaming.
go and win the tournament, or the team that's most composed in this situation.
And the team that is most composed, would you say, for the majority of players, that's players that have been here, done it, won trophies, clawing back on the past time that they've done it?
Absolutely, of course, you associate the players that have gone the distance before at LAN events to be the ones that are the most composed. But for Hidalgo and Matias, we saw him at his first LAN event last year. As we see a run triggered here with Root that potentially could have been played over the top. But as I was saying, it's, of course, having that experience at LAN events helps a lot. But for some players, they trust their game so much, and naturally they're just very, very composed and assured that they can do it when the lights are on, when the stage is set, and when the trophy is there to be won.
That it is. Fnatic now, again, knocking on that door. Little throw-in just coming back. And for you, Tom, is there anything right now that you're noticing that Fnatic are doing differently that they didn't do in the first half, or vice versa for Team Heretics?
I think mainly for Fnatic, they're just building from their defence, right? They're not being as erratic as they were at the start. They're not giving away free chances, and as a result, they get the ball back and they get to create the chances that they like. We know what Tekkz is like, right? Very slow on the build-up. DhTekkz complements it very well together, and they're managing to build that up. Now they can defend a little bit better.
So you've played against Team Heretics before. What would you say makes them so special in the way they play, especially with Matthias in 1v1 and the success he's had?
It's the defending, right? And I can't break them down. You know, every time in practice I play a DhTekkz Matthias, first thing I say is I can't believe how well they defend. We can see here, keep defenders in position. And when you score, you feel like you've really worked to score the goal, you know? It's not just a free goal, it's not cheap. It's a lot of hard work goes into scoring against them because they just know how to defend so well.
R9 now for Fnatic driving through. It is Tekkz on that ball. Fancy footwork again. R9, can he find that pass off across? He cannot. Lost for words there to see how Tekkz can dribble with R9 at his feet. It is absolutely out of this world.
He's hitting into gears now. He's leveling up slowly but surely. He's becoming more and more dangerous as a pass over the top goes straight into Tekksz's hands with Schmeichel there. But again, we saw him in those situations I said yesterday, when he's square on with the defender, with someone that has 5-star skill moves, and especially even a 5-star weak foot, you never know which way he's going to turn, what he's going to do next, what skill move he's going to pull out, and his repertoire seems endless, honestly. He chooses the right option every single time.
Fnatic now still having a lot of control of this ball, taking their time in that build-up. Looking to utilise the little 1-2s, the skill moves that Tekkz and DhTekkz can pull off. For Team Heretics right now, though, Tom, what have they got to do to try and get a control on this game?
I think the main thing for them is to try and just get back on the ball a little bit more. You know, I think we're seeing them defend a lot more than they were in the first half.
Pele now looking to lay that into Hullet. CR7 on the edge of the 18 is going to drive forward, looking towards that byline, whips that one in two. Mbappe lays that down, and Hullet there, kind of a header down, unfortunately not finding the player that they wanted. An opportunity to break now in the 43rd minute for Fnatic.
It seems rushed there from Team Heretics. I know that in that situation there weren't many options there, but again, it just seems as if they're lost for options going forward. I think for Fnatic, they'll be definitely content with the way this game's going. They feel like they're in control, especially with the chances they've created. I may have jinxed it there because there could be a chance at the end of the half if Heretics can get the ball higher up the pitch in time, but there isn't enough. And of course, we go into the second half now.
2-2 on aggregate. Tekkz and DhTekkz looking as calm as you like, laughing, joking with each other. That is Tekkz, right?
Yeah, you know, he loves the big occasion. I think this half-time break will be massive. I think with the Heretics, with their coach there, will be obviously making a lot of changes. And yeah, it's mainly just stopping your opponent from doing what they like and forcing them into doing something that they're not really used to as much. Yeah,
would you say, as crazy as this sounds for Team Heretics, that it's probably the worst thing they could have done is go up with that margin that early on, because you have basically 180 minutes now to make a choice. Do they sit back and defend? Do they play the same way? Do they try and get another goal? And it's tough. I find that very, very difficult to make that choice.
Yeah, it's definitely a cliche in football and FIFA, isn't it, right? You go ahead too early and it changes the way you think, and suddenly you don't play the same way, and it can change a lot. Sometimes that 2-goal lead, it seems great on paper, but it's not as good as it seems.
Fnatic now picking up that loose ball. Tekkz and DhTekkz looking to drive, utilising the wing with Ronaldinho. We spoke about how good Tekkz can be with that man on the ball. We've seen some fantastic dribbling to set up chances, goals, you name it. Tekkz and DhTekkz knocking on that door. João Cancelo just getting that ball back again from the ricochet. Team Heretics looking to do what they do best, defend in numbers. R9 back, pressing that ball holder. Mbappe doing his job. Everyone is disciplined. Fnatic taking their time and patience, trying that driven into R9, but Hakimi taking it away, nice and simple. A reminder that when this team advance, whoever wins this one will go through and play against Makers Sweden, and that is going to be a game and a half, whichever one of these teams it will be. Yeah, Makers Sweden have been flying this weekend. You know, I haven't been able to practice against them too much. Wasn't quite sure what they can offer, but them two have really stepped up at the LAN, and that'll be a tough game for whoever wins this. Yeah, they're in our Club World Cup group for the competition. Of course, next week is the final week of that to get into the final stages, and they've been phenomenal. They've been running riot. They're very, very composed as a duo, and they've done really well as we see a chance here. R9 coming back in, using that fancy footwork. A sloppy pass from Bellingham. Fnatic right now happy to see that going that way, and time and patience again coming through.
I think when it's the 60th minute onwards as well, it's when the nerves start to kick in, right? You start thinking at the end of the game, start thinking next goal could really decide it, and yeah, it's a real test of composure for both players.
With it being such a tight affair as well, possibly looking at extra time, if you're Direwolves right now and you're thinking on playing either one of these, are you saying go all the way to extra time and possibly even penalties? Drain them as much as you can.
Yeah, I think Dire will be fearless, whoever they play here, because obviously they had the experience of playing Fnatic earlier. Nearly through there. They had the experience of playing Fnatic in the first game, and I've been speaking to them quite a lot this week, and they're just completely fearless, right?
Yeah,
they're not scared of anyone around here. So, yeah, they'll be watching this and trusting themselves that whoever does lose, they'll be able to go and beat.
I was speaking to you earlier on, Tom, when you were saying that they came over, they spent time practicing against you, are absolutely fearless, playing their own game, and even you yourself, you and Gorilla, both came out of those scrim games and said, they're a team to watch.
Yeah, they caught us off guard at the start of the week. You know, we were just find as many games as we can. And I've been speaking to Mike for a couple of years and said, oh, let's get a few games in this week. And now you're over in the UK. And yeah, they were incredible. The way they played, they were just in sync all the time, and they trust in each other. You know, they play fairly attacking, but they always trust each other to make the right pass. And I'm not surprised they've done so well.
Mbappe now for Team Heretics. They haven't had too many chances in that final third. Pele on the defensive duties.
One thing I noticed now with Fnatic, they're anticipating that switch across. So they're trying to manually run across to cut it as early as possible. As a player lock corner there almost fell in their favor. But Fnatic, they'll be content with the way this game has gone so far. I feel as if they're in control of possession and have had their fair share of chances, especially when Tekkz gets into the area. I think that's probably the game plan, especially building up in a four at the back formation, just going down the wings, playing it back across towards the inside of the box and looking for the extra pass or the right skill move with Tekkz, as we saw the first goal in this game.
João Cancelo looking for that ball into Ronaldinho. Tekkz looking to find that way through, chooses to go back to Mbappe. A quick pass off to Kante. Rude Hullet on the edge of the 18, drives in, but his equal partner is there. Team Heretics coming away again and looking to break. Possession handed over in the middle of that pitch. For everyone at home, they're used to 1v1, Tom. How does 2v2 really play that difference when if you make a mistake, with 10 minutes remaining right now, neither one of these teams will want to make that mistake? How does that impact when you know you're playing for not yourself, but also your partner?
Yeah, the pressure's definitely cranked up in your head. You know, in 1v1 you can accept it's your mistake, but in 2v2 you don't want to let someone else down. You know, you don't want to be the reason you lost.
Mbappe now finding that ball out to Cristiano Ronaldo. Again, defensively, both of these teams just doing enough to keep their counterpart away from that 18-yard box. No clear-cut chances to speak about in the last 15. 7 minutes remaining. Will there be a winner, or will we go to extra time? Pele. Tekkz saying to Diogo, come and give me an option. Come and give me some space. The patience to go back, recycle, and spread that play wide.
Were either married or living together with someone from a different race. And according to the Pew Research Center, 10%.
4 minutes remaining. Fnatic just taking their time, and this, Tom, is purely just to say you are not getting another chance in this 90.
Yeah, you don't want to concede 90th minute. Oh, they're giving it away.
It is going to be the last attack then to Team Heretics. Fnatic, curse of the commentator. We'll blame Tom for that one. Giving that ball away. 1 minute remaining.
For their sake, you hope it doesn't prove to be costly, because again, it'd be a heartbreaking way to concede a goal. 1 minute added on here. Team Heretics, they need to go forward.
Looking for that switch of play over to the right back. Pele just doing enough again to say you are not going to get a clear header down to Mbappe. Driving past Marcelo with ease. He's got Cristiano Ronaldo in at the back stick. Chooses to drive through. Uses the cross to Cristiano Ronaldo. He finds the back of the net with the header. Ryan, you said, I hope it doesn't come back to haunt them. And it has done exactly that.
I genuinely, I can feel that celebration deep through my mouth. You feel that, Tom, right? That was like... Wow. Heartbreaking stuff for Fnatic, but huge celebrations from Matthias and Hidalgo and their coach behind them. Devastating for Fnatic, Tekkz and Diogo. They gave possession away very late on, and that was it. You knew it was coming with Cristiano Ronaldo at the back post. The ball whipped in. You know what's going to come.
That you do. Team Heretics taking that victory in the final minute of the match.